Hi guys, good day. Welcome back to my channel. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a simple DIY setup. I'm going to show you guys how I used to convert my home into a studio, and how I basically used to shoot before I now started to use a dedicated space for my shoots, basically. So basically this is me just rearranging the house to give me all the space that I need. I shoot with a lot of space, so I had to rearrange the chairs, remove all the chairs, and shoot from a position where I have the longest space possible. And that was me telling Emmanuel to move out of my camera. That's my assistant for that day. So it was just around to help. No biggie. I had the style shoot on this day, and this was me setting up the backdrop. So that's the base for the shoot. I have a backdrop stand and a rod. You need some basic stuff to do your DIY setup. That's what really makes sense. You need a backdrop stand and of course a backdrop itself. You need background clips as in backdrop clips. So if your backdrop is paper, it depends. You might need clip to hold it in place if it's not firm. If it is what I'm going to use here, which is a canvas backdrop, you would definitely need a clip to hold them in place for the backdrop. So I had to do a double check to be sure that my camera was recording. Yeah, we're good to go. So I went to get the clips from my camera bag. That table is my office table. Basically, like, I have a space where I work from home, just right there. And would eventually just hang the backdrop. So like I was saying, you need a backdrop stand, you need a backdrop itself. It all depends on what you want to do. Basically, if you can do without a stand, then fine, but as a professional you want to get a stand. As a beginner, you can basically just use anything. If your backdrop is a cloth backdrop. I've never used a cloth backdrop before, so I don't know how it feels. I think they call it muslin backdrop. I don't know how it feels. But you can actually, as long as it works for you as a backdrop. Then another thing is that I use a backlight, so I need the space behind the wall. So I need a background stand so that I can put my backlight behind the wall. So basically we hung the backdrop and then we raised the stand. So you need light stands, tripods, C-stands. If you are getting a C-stand, you need a sandbag. It doesn't have to be something complex. It can be just having a bag that has a sand in it, right? A small sand inside. Just to make it heavy, you can get weights. So instead of using a sandbag, you can use weights. Anything that is heavy, use it to balance your C-stand, so that depending on the light you're putting, if it's heavy or if it's not heavy. I put a link. I'll put a link. I painted this backdrop myself, so I'll put a link in the description so that you can see how this backdrop was painted, right? It's a personal. That's what I was describing to Emmanuel here, that I painted the backdrop personally, and then it was a really good experience. I've done it at least twice, and I liked the output. Well, you see some of the errors I made from this one. I corrected in the second one, but I didn't make a video for that. So yeah, I had to straighten the backdrop here so that for the shoots, Well, of course, I can always come back to this eventually, but and then sometimes I don't put the background first, but because I'm recording a video, I wanted the backdrop to come in first, so that I can then put other things. But sometimes I don't know what backdrop I'll use yet until the model comes. Sometimes, I have mood boards. Of course, I request for the outfits. They'll send me pictures and all that. But sometimes it's until you see it, that's when you make a decision on what to really do. You have an idea of what you want to do. Then by the time they come in, then you switch. You can just say, and this load doesn't look so much, like the way I saw it. And then I think it's more corporate. I think it's more freer, and then that could inform the kind of backdrop you're going to use for the shoot. So yeah, you need light stands, of course. Then you need lights, obviously. Okay, so that's the C stand. That's the base of the C stand. That's the manual helping me with the C stand. And apart from lights, you need light modifiers. So for lights, you have your battery powered light, you have your speed light. All of them can be useful in studio, right? You have your cord lights, basically lights, anyone that you're using, as long as it fits your subject. If speed light is the only thing you have, just position well, then use them. Light modifiers, of course, you need them. If not, all your lights are going to be hard. You need light modifiers. You need the soft boxes, and any modifier that is of interest to you. So that was a 95 centimeter soft box, and I just opened it, and then I'm putting the white cover on it. That's what diffuses the light. We call it a diffuser, and it just maybe I'll do a video on light modifiers later. This particular one has its own grid. Sometimes when I want to focus the light on the subject and I don't want to spill out too much, I put a grid on it, and so that it's just on the subject's face. It depends on what I want to achieve. Sometimes I use 2 light setups, 3 light setups, 4 light setups. Sometimes I just use one, especially when I want to have a dark feel. I want to have a one-sided feel for light. But usually when I have a shoot, I just set up everything and then I put them off when I don't need them, or when I don't want to use them. So I put the grid on this particular one just to show you guys how it feels, or how I set up, basically. But doesn't mean I used it in the shoot. Well, basically any modifier works. Beauty dish, cones, snoots with grids, those are good for your backlights, or you want to point lights, and all of that. Then I also have umbrellas, which you're going to see. Then you need triggers, and of course you need a camera. There's no that's basically all you need to have a basic professional setup. You can modify the setups, give or take. So that's one of my strobes I'm hanging on the C stand. That's like the key light for the subject. And then I'll put one by the side as a fill light, depending on what I want to achieve. Sometimes I put on both sides, and then I would have one backlight. Sometimes I put the backlight directly behind the backdrop, or on the side just behind too, depending on what I want to achieve. And that's usually what I do. Then I start shooting and then start adjusting my lights from either some of my lights I can control from my trigger, some of them I can't, so I control them both manually and automatically. So of course the aim is to eventually get to a point where that's the sandbag that Emmanuel just brought. The aim is to get to a point where we can control everything from the remote, from the trigger rather. So just a quick recap on what you need. You need a backdrop stand, you need the background itself. Except you already have a background you are shooting with. Maybe the wall is this created wall where they put this design, and you have background clips depending on what you need it for. You have light stands, tripods, C-stands, you need sandbags or weights. You need lights, speed lights, strobe lights, any light works. Just know how to use your lights, or basically just know how to use what you have, right? Then you need light modifiers, things that will texturize the light for you. Soft boxes, umbrellas. That's an umbrella I'm presently working on. I put the side wrongly, so I'm taking it out and then turning the side. Before I put it on the strobe, you have to fit an umbrella first, and then put the strobe inside the umbrella. You're going to see that. Then basically beauty dish, cones, snodes. If you have the optical snodes, you can use them. Basically anything that can bend light for you, supply lights, make your lights softer. And if what you want to achieve is an ad light, then you remove the modifiers, basically. But of course, in fact, these modifiers can help you shaping the ad lights too. So, and all of that. Then you need your trigger, and then you need your camera to shoot with. So that's me fitting up the second strobe. So for the purpose of this this video, we're just only going to be doing a 3 light mock setup. So while I was setting up, a fellow creative came in. Is a cinematographer. He has his own YouTube channel. I think it's Ezik Media. I'm not sure, but his name is Ezik, basically. And he has a YouTube channel, and it's one of the best documentary cinematographers we have in the world. So, that was me fitting up the umbrella. And then after that, I just picked up the cone. I had a cone fitted already into an S bracket. I'm using a speed light on that one. It's going to serve as my backlight. And then I just put it on the stand. I didn't put the speed light because I was just showing you guys how I set up. And then that was it. Thank you very much for coming to my TED Talk. Like, subscribe, of course. Comment, let me know what you would like to see next.